All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mumbai Speech and Debating League 2023. We are going to start the training from today. This is powered by Ogly and Indian Debating League. So it's going to be a first session, and I'm going to first tell you as to what Indian Debating League is. So Indian Debating League is the most prestigious public speaking and debating tournament. We have had debaters from across the entire country, but also we have had debaters go outside our nation and represent India for a couple of tournaments and mark our victory in different places of the globe. We have trained 68,000 plus people as of now, and including you guys, I think that with this tournament, we'll be able to train around 69,000 debaters. We've conducted 100 plus debating tournaments, and we have basically taken 9,000 plus hours of training sessions. Let me show you a couple of clips from people who have actually debated for us and have participated for us. They're the in-person tournaments. So after you qualify from the qualifiers round, you would have to go to IIT Bombay. So we would be able to see you and meet you there, and you would be able to have an experience of in-person tournament, which is very encouraging and very enlightening to begin with. We've had people going from Ogly, that is basically from India, and debate at multiple places like NSTA, Oxford, LSE, and Stanford University. So I think it's just the aim for the company that we would want more and more people to go ahead and represent India in different places of the world, because essentially debating is seen as an elite activity, but we would want more representation from India, and we would want to make debating a very accessible activity in general. This time, we're going to basically teach you three things. One is WSTC, which is World School Debating Championship. Another is Diplomatic Education. And then one is keep yourself muted, Vishal. Okay, thank you. So this is how the training schedule is going to look like. So from 21st to 23rd June, you would have your training masterclasses. On 25th June, you're going to have your qualifiers. In the first half, you're going to have turncoat and dramatic adaptation, which is from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And in the second half, which is 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., you'll have your WSTC round. So for each format, we have 3 rounds, which means that if you're in turncoat, you'll have to play 3 rounds. If you're in dramatic adaptation, you'll have to play 3 rounds. And similar is the case with WSTC. The only difference is that the first 2 speech formats are going to happen in the first half of the day, and the debating format is going to happen in the second half of the day. On 1st July, so out of the qualifiers round, people who are going to be able to score the topmost in the list and are going to score the rank are going to be qualifying to the semifinals and finals of IIT Bombay, which is going to be on 1st of July 2023. Are there any questions specifically to this? And if there are, please raise your hand. Okay, Tripti, what's your question?
So will the turncoat and dramatic adaptation happen at different locations?
So it'll happen, if you're asking about qualifiers, it'll happen on Zoom and it will happen simultaneously. But if there is somebody who has probably joined for both turncoat and dramatic adaptation, you're just supposed to tell us. So you're just supposed to give your speech and leave for dramatic adaptation. So we'll make arrangement that way. But it's going to happen on the same location, yes.
Okay.
Karthik?
Ma'am, so how many people can qualify for the competition at IIT Bombay?
We will tell you, but it's going to be similar to what has happened in the qualifiers of 7. So we'll keep it equitable.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Avik, I think you're supposed to join the seniors category. I'll just move you in. Or are you able to join it? Avik, are you able to join the seniors category? There's a breakout room which says senior debate training. All right, thank you. Okay, Sarah, what's your question? You're muted.
Yes, and the final day, Miss, are parents also allowed to come, or is it only participants?
No, your parents are allowed to come for sure.
So, Miss, in the Zoom also, they can join from another device, right?
Yes, they can spectate, yes.
Okay, ma'am,
Okay.
thank you.
Nakia, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. What's your doubt?
No, ma'am, it's right. I had a question regarding the topics actually.
Okay.
I'm not
So,
receiving any emails and
okay, so I'm going to give you the topic for dramatic adaptation today. The topics for turncoat and WSDC will be given tomorrow. I hope that's clear. So I'm going to just make it one-time announcement. So the motion for the dramatic adaptation is going to be given today after the meet, and the motion for turncoat and dramatic like WSDC is going to be given tomorrow. Okay. Tiana?
ma'am,
Yes.
what I had to ask was, will the topics for the qualifiers round and the finals will be different?
Yes, it will be different.
So the first finals, it will be on the spot, right?
So some rounds are going to be on the spot and some are going to be prepared.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Tiana?
Miss, I have one question. That
Mhm.
if I'm just trying to confirm, the 21st, 23rd training masterclass and 25th qualifier are both in
Whoever is, yeah, Tiana, you can continue.
Yeah, I was saying that the training masterclass and the qualifiers are online, and just the final day at IIT Bombay will be offline, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Amira?
Yeah, I actually had two doubts. So, firstly, for the turncoat and dramatic adaptation format, will we be required to have teams?
No. So dramatic adaptation and turncoat is individual event and WSTC is the team event.
All right, and you said there were three rounds for the first first half. So, will we be given like all three topics and then
Yes.
like, asked
Yes.
to prepare on that?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Sandy?
Ma'am, I was wanting to ask for those people who have selected for two participants in their team or only one participant in their team.
Mhm.
How will be they given their other partners?
So if you have given a preference, have you given one preference or two preferences?
I have given one preference, ma'am. I
Okay,
don't
so
have the
you
second.
all right. So you'll be given that particular person will be teamed up with you, and another dynamic person will be teamed up with you. The person who probably doesn't have a team. Okay. Puranjay?
Ma'am, I have a question. On what basis will the teams for WSDC be made?
So it's based on three things. One is going to be your preference that you have listed in the form. If you have listed preference, then you are going to be teamed up together. If you haven't listed your preference, then we have also asked you to fill your debating experience. So based on the debating experience, if people with a similar debating experience would be paired up together. If you have like given nothing, like you have no debating experience and you have also not given your preference, then we'll see which grade you are in or probably which school you are in from. Like based on that, we'll just team up together.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Vanshika?
Ma'am, when are we going to get the profiles for dramatic adaptation?
You should get it very soon. So tomorrow or day after, but as soon as possible, we will give it to you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Alia Bas.
Ma'am, I just want to know that for the qualifiers, the topic for WSDC, we are just gonna get it earlier, right, than the final day? Because like if I qualify, so the debates that are gonna be held on the final day, I'll just get it like some minutes prior. But just for the qualifiers, we are just getting it a little earlier.
Correct. But in the finals also, like the final day, the semi-finals round will be prepared. Finals won't be prepared.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Sakshi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Go on.
Ma'am, I was asking that, ma'am, will the topics will be given on the spot or prior with the competition?
Okay, I'll just make a quick announcement. The topics for qualifiers for turncoat is going to be given tomorrow. For WSDC is going to be given tomorrow, and for dramatic adaptation, so only dramatic adaptation people are getting it today. Okay, so turncoat and WSDC, hang tight, you'll get your topics tomorrow.
And ma'am, if I get qualified, then the topic will be given on 1st July on the spot, or we will be given it beforehand?
On 1st July, there are two rounds. One is semi-finals. If you qualify from semi-finals, then you get to play finals, which means semi-finals is knockout rounds. Semi-finals round will be prepared, which means you'll get the topic beforehand. but finals is going to be on the spot.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Janak.
I had a query that like the training sessions for WSDC will be held in the other half today or it'll be tomorrow.
Oh, so this is for the rounds, like, and the training for WSDC isn't properly today. Today is just the introductory session. But the specific training for WSDC is going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, Priti.
Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Can you please mute yourself? Whoever is.
Ma'am, Ma'am, may I ask my doubt?
Go on.
Ma'am, it's Aditi, and I want to ask you, ma'am, still I'm bewildered, like topics and profiles, like you have said that topics we will get today and profile we will get 2 hours before.
No. Topic you will get today and profile you'll get day after tomorrow.
Okay, profile on the day of qualifiers day.
No, it's one day prior. So what I said was either you'll get it one day prior, or if we can make it as soon as possible, we'll try to give it to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Meera?
Ma'am, you may have mentioned this before, but what is the full form of WSDC?
World School Debating Championship.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering. Yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask that as I am a new participant in WSDC, so what is the motto for this competition and how will be the result announced?
Okay, so the motto of the competition is obviously to train new people and new debaters and be able to help them debating. But the results are going to be announced online on the WhatsApp group itself. You'll get your names, you'll get your scores, everything by after 2 days or like within 2 days of the competition.
Okay, ma'am. And also I haven't got the teams yet. So what to do?
So you'll get your team by tomorrow for sure. But if we can make it faster, we'll be able to give it to you by tonight. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Yashvi.
On what basis will we be graded?
Okay, that's a very good question. I'm gonna and these questions are going to be specifically answered tomorrow because these are format specific topics and you would want specific trainings on that. But just to cater to your doubt, there are 3 ways how people like are going to grade you. One is going to be matter, another is going to be method, and another is going to be manner. Matter, method, and manner. So it's going to be 3M principle. So how is your content? How are you speaking? And then which way are you speaking? All of it is going to be seen.
Will we be also having like content specific training sessions tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ruta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The topics for turncoat will be based on the theme, the Hydra snare, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Aditi? Good evening. Tell me.
I wanted to ask, like in the first and second round, suppose in the first round we are speaking for the topic. So it is like fixed that in the second round we will be speaking against only.
Correct. That is the way it is.
And in the third round, the side will be given an hour before.
Yes, it will be random.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Ahana?
Yeah, so I think you just sort of answered it like just now, but for WSDC, will we know whether our team is for or against each motion beforehand, or will we get it like, on the spot?
Okay, so the motion for WSDC, so for 3 rounds, you'll get 2 motions. The first motion is going to be same for the first and second round. The third motion is going to be like the second motion is going to be completely different for the third round, which means that if the motion for the first and second round is same, you will basically not know if you're going for or against, but you'll get on the spot if you're going for or against. For example, that basically means you would have to prepare for both sides either ways. And before the round starts, we'll tell you if in the round 1 you're for or against. So if you're in the first round you're for, you'll be against in the second round.
Okay,
and
that
then
makes sense. Thank you.
Ryan?
Miss, I think this has been done before, but are we allowed to use reference material in the qualifiers?
Yes, you can. but don't completely like look over and completely read from it. Okay, just try to make eye
Yes.
contact with the judge.
Miss, so can we just skim through it beforehand and then use it sometimes in our...
For sure, for sure. Okay, Pranay.
Ma'am, when will the dramatic adaptation topics be sent?
After the meeting ends today.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Charvi.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that how will be the profile allotted for dramatic adaptation to the student?
Okay, so did you see your participant list that is being shared with on the group?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll just add another column right next to it, and then we'll just put your profile right next to it, so you would know which profile you're allotted.
Oh, but how it will be allotted like to the students? Like, is there any specific criteria or
it's going to be random? So, for example, I have like 15 slots of profiles with me, and I will randomly just like put it on the slots and just say, for example, Charvi is Mahatma Gandhi. It could be anything. So these profiles are going to be Indian figures, people who are philosophers, people who are political leaders from across the
Indian figures, specifically Indian or like any?
No, it's not necessary that be specifically Indian.
And I wanted to ask the timing, like the timer which will be set for the seniors, like each round.
Okay, I will come to that. Okay. That is again like format specific question. Tanish, what's your doubt?
I was just curious around what is the acceptance rate for selections in the semi-finals or finals?
Okay, in terms of acceptance rate, so we generally see how many people have participated, and based on that, the qualifiers happen. But which format are you in? WSDC, right? So we will qualify 2 people from entire WSDC, like for your category. 2 teams, which means 6 from your category. Okay. I will basically hold on the questions for now, and then we'll just try to go to other like slides, so that probably a lot of your questions are going to be dealt then. So this is how the training session is going to look like. The first session, that is today, is going to deal with dramatic adaptation format specifically. The second session, that is tomorrow, is going to deal with turncoat format details and then WSDC format details. So we'll tell you what the format looks like, what's the structure, how do you prepare for it, what are the tips and tricks, and then we will basically try to clear all of your doubts specific to the format. The third session is going to be much more interesting. You're going to have format specific mocks. So I'm going to show you demonstration of real debaters who have debated with us. And then I'm also going to show you some demonstrations of dramatic adaptation and turncoat, so that you know how to perform. But I'm going to give you some topics and motions as well, so that we can see if you understood and like are able to apply the theory that is being taught to you. All right, let's first try and start with the theme then. The theme is called Hydra Snare. I don't know how many of you all have been following it, but Hydra Snare is basically like the theme of the entire tournament, which means that all the motions that are going to be there in the entire tournament, be it qualifiers or be it the finals or semifinals, is going to be taken from the inspiration of the theme. Now, can anyone tell me as to what Hydra Snare, or what do you understand? And in the chat box, please, as to what do you guys think Hydra Snare is? And all of it is basically given here as well. So Hydra Snare is inspired by the symbols of Greek mythology, which basically means many-headed serpent in this context. So we think that education resembles this form due to the many sources of information that you have, which means that we have likened the mouths of Hydra to the human mouth, all singing different tunes about same concept, because we think that the same way how the serpent has so many mouths and so many faces, there are different sources of education and information. But secondly, there are also many like ways how people actually use that particular way of education as well. So what we think is that, do you think that many sources to education is actually a good thing, or is it dehumanizing individuals? For example, we come back from school and then we are then we have like a couple of coaching centers, etc. So we were basically in the whole cycle of continuously reading and continuously getting educated. Is it a good thing, or are we actually losing some time with ourselves? There are a couple of questions that you probably need to think in terms of Hydra Snare. But my question to you guys here, and I want you all to be put in the chat box as to what do you guys think, and How do you guys feel? And in terms of like, what are the different sources of education? Tell me what are the different sources of education according to you? In the
Excuse me,
chat.
ma'am.
Yes.
I didn't understand your question.
My question is, do you guys think there are different sources of education? And if yes, what are those sources? Where do you get in education from? I have few, okay, encyclopedia, coaching, reading books, social media, tuitions, formal, informal, and travel. That's a really good answer. Online application. What about ChatGPT? Do you guys think ChatGPT is a source of education? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Miss, it depends on how you use it.
That's true. Yes.
Ma'am, I would actually disagree. ChatGPT is not a source of knowledge or education, but a source of information.
Okay. So, okay, that's a way to look at it. Okay. What do you? Okay.
Being a source of inform. Can I just say something? So ChatGPT being a source of information just generally leads you, leads it to being a source of knowledge, because the more you use it, and at least if you use it in the right way, and if you read what's written, then you will get knowledge from it.
Yes, that is a way to.
But education teaches you about real life things.
All right,
There's a
I
difference
want it to
between
be in the
someone
chat box, please. Okay, so what I want you to understand is that we do have different sources of education, and there are different ways how people get education. It's not necessary that you're getting education only from school, and that's a thing that you're supposed to like admit to. But the thing that I want to tell you is that the broad theme of the motion is related to, or is going to be, the different sources of education in general. So the problems that people face with respect to education, or the different kinds of education, forms of curriculums that are being set, etc., etc. So I know that the theme could be a little difficult to understand sometimes, but it's just for you to understand that there are different sources of education, and there are different critical analysis available for these kinds of sources. For example, let's say homeschooling, right? Like you just don't go to school, but you like read everything from home, and you get all kinds of education and on all subjects from home. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? So we don't just need to understand how different types of education affect or play out in real life, and how different forms of curriculums are formed and stuff like that. So this is basically going to help you like,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Is it actually breaking for everybody, or it's just?
No,
ma'am, it's not breaking.
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's clear.
Cool. So it's clear. Whoever was it, please check your internet. Okay, so that's it for the theme. Let's start with dramatic adaptation then. Okay. Dramatic adaptation is basically a format that has been taken from USA, and that format is known as dramatic interpretation. So dramatic adaptation, just like break the words, dramatic plus adaptation. So it's going to be relating to some kind of drama, or it's going to be related to some sort of adaptation to a particular thing. So what we do in dramatic adaptation is that we enact or we perform as somebody else. For example, I tell you that you're supposed to enact or like be like, let's say your father. So you would basically take the appearances, the way how he talks, the way how he basically reacts to certain situations, etc., etc. So it's basically a character is going to be allocated to you, and you're supposed to enact and adapt to three things. One, his personality, his ideology, and his opinions, which means that you're supposed to also dress up like that personality. And this is why dramatic adaptation is specific in terms of how you look, how you talk, and how you basically express your opinions. For example, I think there are different ways how people look at, let's say, climate change, or I think people look at things like education in a different manner, because let's say big people like Mahatma Gandhi would probably have different opinions in terms of education. Like Mahatma Gandhi probably likes traditional form of education much better than modern form of education, and so on and so forth, right? But at that point of time, you won't use your own brain, or you won't use your own expression or opinion in order to tell us to what you think about the topic that is being given to you. A topic is going to be given to you and a profile is going to be given to you. What you're supposed to do is do justice to that profile and then go ahead and make a speech out of it. For example, and I'm just like using this because it's just much easier. So for example, if Mahatma Gandhi is your profile and the statement given to you is that climate change is a big problem. So I would basically first dress up like Mahatma Gandhi. I would then go ahead and try to use how he talks. So I would probably watch a couple of videos and then I'll try to understand his accent, his voice modulation, the way he talks. And then I'll go forward and make a speech in terms of what his thinking about climate change was. For example, what he thought about climate change was basically that there is so much more in nature to give to everybody, but not to fulfill the greed of people. What necessarily is happening is that people are exploiting the resources because people are greedy, right? People want to mine more, like more coal, etc., more natural resources, which is why like it has been like impacting the environment. So you can basically deduce from it that yes, climate change is a big problem, and that's what Mahatma Gandhi also recognized. And then you can use a couple of quotes from Mahatma Gandhi's speeches, Mahatma Gandhi's like essays, etc. You just have to read a lot about that personality. So this is what basically like dramatic adaptation asks for, which is why we will be giving you 3 different statements in each round, but the profile remains same. For example, if you are Rishi Sunak in one round, you are going to stay Rishi Sunak for the entire qualifiers. And then the only thing that would change is going to be the statement that is going to be given to you. Now, what is the time limit for you? The time limit for the middle category is 4 minutes speech, which means that you're supposed to like basically prepare a speech for 4 minutes. You have grace period, which is for 15 seconds, which means that you can, if at all you are not able to end your speech by 4 minutes, you'll be given 15 seconds of grace period. After 4 minutes, 15 seconds, nobody's going to listen to you and they're also going to demark you. So don't go ahead and probably like extend and like speak for 5 minutes, because that's not something that would help you. So 4 minutes is the time limit. The profile shall be released. So the profile is going to be given to you tomorrow, and the topic for all rounds are going to be different, and the topic is going to be given today. Just ignore this. It's going to be 22nd and not 21st. Are there any doubts on dramatic adaptation, particularly from this slide? Okay, Tanish, what's your doubt?
Sorry, I just forgot to lower my hand.
Okay, Prisha. I would assume that's by mistake as well.
Ma'am, Prisha here.
Yes. Do you have a doubt?
Ma'am, the training for dramatic adaptation will be separate, right? From those of other categories?
Yes, and we have already started the training for the dramatic adaptation.
Oh, all right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Rishi, what's your question?
Yes, ma'am. Just out of curiosity, on the day of the qualifiers round, there are going to be 3 rounds, right?
Yes.
So we have to do all the 3 rounds, or only if we pass the first round?
You have to. No. Everybody gets a chance to debate all 3 rounds.
Thank you.
Okay. Havra?
Ma'am, my question is that if we are given the topic and suppose I am Mahatma Gandhi, so do I have to do a intro or something, 1-2 lines about the personality?
I understand. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is before your speech starts, tell the judge as to like what your name is and what profile is given to you. You don't have to give your introduction because you are yourself. So you are Mahatma Gandhi. So start like Mahatma Gandhi. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So first I have to tell my name and the profile which I have been allotted, and then I have to start my speech.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Puranja?
Ma'am, will we have any mock rounds for either one of the categories?
Yes, you will have.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Vanshika?
Ma'am, I lowered my hand.
Yes, ma'am. I want to ask the question that, ma'am, tomorrow we will get our profiles, but the statement we will get on the qualifiers day, or
No,
the day
you'll
after
get it.
tomorrow?
You'll get it after the meet today.
Oh.
Okay, Preeti?
Ma'am, it's Aditi. Very good evening.
Okay.
Ma'am, I want to ask, like, we have, Mahatma Gandhi and like some profile like Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So some, lines in between they speak in Hindi. So is there any compulsion to speak them also in English, or we have to
No,
continue in
you
Hindi?
can speak in Hindi at that point of time.
Okay, and then will we get any buzzle for like 4 minutes are getting to over, so we will hear any buzzle to stop?
So we will try to have the timestamps put in the chat box, but you should probably time yourself as well, right? So keep your own timers.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Is your name Iom or Om?
Ma'am, Om.
Om, okay, Om, tell me.
Ma'am, I want to ask like that. You showed in the before picture that the training sessions are from 6 to 7:30. Is it 6 to 7:30 or 7:30? 7
It
to
is
8?
going to be 7 only. It's going to be 7. Okay, Ruta?
Ma'am, actually, I have an exam tomorrow and I've participated in turncoat. So, sorry, is it okay if I leave?
Yeah, for sure. So turncoat and WSDC people can leave, but after I'm going to be finishing with dramatic adaptation, I'll give a quick intro to like WSDC and turncoat. So if you're new, you should probably stay in.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Charvi?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that we have like the time for this each is 6 minutes each, or it's total 6 minutes?
Charvi, are you in the senior category?
In senior category.
Okay, would you mind going to the senior debate training room, which is basically a breakout room?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
No, but I'm for dramatic adaptation, not for
Yes, but all the training for senior category is happening in the breakout room.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Pranay, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, for the dramatic adaptation, will the theme still be the Hydra snare?
Yes. So yes, the topics are going to be related to education.
Ma'am, also will the profile be from Indian history, right?
No, it's not necessary. So just a typo. It's not going to be only history, Indian history. It could be anything from the globe.
Okay.
Okay. Ryan, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, my doubt was that will there be any further training sessions for WSGC and for turncoat?
Yes.
Do both of them have to join together, or will there be any?
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah. So today I'm going to give you introduction to the WSDC and turncoat by the end of dramatic adaptation, and tomorrow there's going to be specific training for turncoat.
I have already attended the 17th June.
Oh, then you probably don't have to join the training sessions if you already know about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Atharva?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. So I had a doubt that you said there will be 3 rounds. So on the qualifiers day 25th, we will be given one profile and we'll get 3 different statements for 3 rounds, or we'll get one statement and 3 different profiles.
No, one profile, 3 different statements.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Tiana?
Yes, ma'am. I had one question. It was related to some thing that one person said before. So as she or he was saying that if there's suppose we get the role of Mahatma Gandhi or Prime Minister Modi, and we have some lines to speak in Hindi. So as you said, Hindi is allowed, but at the same time, do we have to act like him or dress like him or something?
Yes, you're supposed
So
to act
we have
like
to be in a full character of Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Nirjal Kaur?
Miss, just to clarify, this isn't for WSDC, right?
No, it isn't for WSDC. It's only for dramatic adaptation.
Ma'am.
Who's that?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, I cannot figure out when you speak without keeping your hands up.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, who is it?
Ma'am, Nirjur.
Okay, go on. Tell me. What's your doubt?
Can I leave because I have participated for turncoat?
Okay, you can, but by the end of dramatic adaptation, I'm going to give an introduction to turn.
Ma'am, how much time is it going to take for dramatic adaptation to end?
If there are no more questions, I'll try to finish it as soon as possible. But okay, let's just try to come back to dramatic adaptation and then we'll take the questions in a bit. Yes, Nakia?
Ma'am?
Ma'am, that's me. I'm just asking, can I join back by 8 p.m. because I want an introduction, but I'm from WSDC.
You can join back by 7:50, yes.
Okay,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I
That's
have
it. Thank you.
WSDC. If I have to do WSDC, then do I have to join this right now?
Join back by 7:50. Okay. All right, let's just try to focus on dramatic adaptation again, right? So dramatic adaptation, as the name suggests, has a theoretical tinge, which means that it's related a little bit related to skills that you're supposed to act, you're supposed to enact, etc., etc. So I think what you're supposed to do is present your stance as per the person that is being given to you. For example, if in case like the statement is going to be given to you and the education is the theme. So it could be like gamification of learning is productive. So do you think so? And then we'll give you an example. For example, if you were Bill Gates and the statement given to you is gamification of learning is productive, what would Bill Gates feel about it? So you're supposed to make an entire speech from the lens of that particular person. So there are going to be famous people. There is likelihood that you would probably not get a picture, you would probably get picture, but you wouldn't get a video of them. So at that point of time, you know what you do in like schools, right? So when a skit is given to you, you probably don't know how these people are in terms of like looks, in terms of how they talk, but you can come up with your own imagination and talk like them. For example, most philosophers have a very soothing voice, or people who are political leader are very confident in the way how they speak, are very assertive in the way how they speak. So you're supposed to come up with your own creativity and imagination if you don't specifically get a video of these profiles. Okay, so this is an example. This person was given, this kid was basically, yes.
Hello.
What's your doubt?
Ma'am, this is Vicharan.
And what is your doubt?
My doubt is if we get profile, we get entire team the same profile or only the one profile?
So it is an individual event. So you get a profile for 3 rounds. So individual, yes.
Individually or entire group is the same profile?
Who is your group?
Middle, ma'am.
Yeah, so entire group doesn't get the same profile. Everybody gets different profiles.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, and this is the kid from last year's dramatic adaptation tournament. So the profile given to them was Sadhguru, and the topic was spirituality and education, and they talked about spirituality and education really beautifully. You can see how they're dressed up. I can give you another example of how it could be. So if the idea is that the profile given to you is Greta Thunberg, and the topic is role of education and environmental preservation. So Greta Thunberg, what would she say about all of it? So you could just know that, yeah, she's very passionate about environment. So what would she think about education and environment coming together? So this basically just like different topics in order for you to understand how dramatic adaptation works. Now, this is the way how you're going to be judged. There are 3 criteria for you, and each criteria weighs in 10 marks, okay? Which means that each is equal, which means that if you're dressed up really nicely, but you can't speak well and your content is bad, you're going to be marked lesser in matter and method. So I'm going to just quickly tell you as to what criteria is there and what are the components of these criteria. The first is matter. So under the matter category, so what they're going to be seeing is one, what is the person saying? Is it relevant to the topic and side given to the person? Or what is the quality of reasoning, logic, statistic, or like the rhetorics that has been used by the person? Did they use examples, etc.? So it's just basically the speech that you have written, is it well researched or not, is going to be seen in the matter part. Then coming to the manner, you're going to be seen in terms of presentation. Do you make eye contact? Do you remember your speech? Do you resemble to the actual character? Did you use props if they were involved? Or did you actually use good animated or like good ways of like mimicry? Did you use voice modulation? all of it is going to be seen in manner. Are you confident in what you're saying? Third is going to be method. Now, method is also for 10 marks. So is the profile being followed when they start speaking on the statement? So while are you sticking to the profile, or are you giving your own opinions on that profile? So are they making claims that people in their profile are likely to make? So is it like, so it's going to be basically resemblance and transition of your character towards it. Did you stick to the time limit? Did you, the way how you've structured your thoughts, is it making any sense? Because oftentimes not we have good content, but it's not completely organized in a way which is basically understandable to people, right? So you would basically like see method through that understanding. So matter, manner, and method. What is your content? How are you presenting it? Or in what way are you presenting it? All of it is going to be seen. I can see 4 hands being up. Sakshi, what's your question?
Ma'am, I want to ask that, can you please explain like how the Hydra snare theme will be related to like 3 of the formats, dramatic adaptation
Okay,
and
so
WSDC?
Hydra snare basically means different sources of education. Most of your topics are going to be related to education. This is how Hydra snare is related to your topics.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Aditi, what's your doubt?
Very good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask, like on 25th, we have our qualifier round. So on half breaks, we will have, like you have said 9 till 1:30. So I want to ask, like, statements will be changed in all the 3 rounds. So all the 3 statements we will get all together, or we will get in those half breaks?
No, you'll get it all together today by the end of this meet.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, Vanshika, what's your doubt?
So, ma'am, on the qualifiers days for the each round, we have to say for for the each statement we have to say for 4 minutes, or for
Correct.
entire round we have to say for
For
4
each statement, 4 minutes. Zainab, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, you just said that we're not supposed to write our opinions, but as we release the Hydra snare, don't you think a few of the personalities, they might have never spoken of it or something like that?
Your own opinion means you're not supposed to give a speech as Zainab. You're supposed to give a speech as the person that is being given to you. So you're supposed to reflect everything in terms of their opinion, and you're not supposed to use your own personal opinions. I hope that's clear.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, Pranay, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, so we'll get a profile and all the statements we give will be based on education, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how the Hydra snare is relevant for dramatic
Yes,
adaptation.
correct. That's true. Okay, Arsh, what's your doubt?
Suppose we are given a time limit of 4 minutes and we are unable to speak. Suppose we end at 3 minutes or three and a half. So are we disqualified, or what are the actions taken?
Disqualified. You're not disqualified, but you would be marked less in method, because method is, did you stick to the time limit? So ending 15 seconds before or 3 minutes, like 1 minute before is okay. Insofar as your content is really good and manner is really good, I think that wouldn't essentially harm the way how you're marked.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, Sanvi, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, if we go above the time limit, will we be marked?
Yes, you will be demarked. If you go above 4 minutes, 15 seconds, they're going to reduce your marks. But secondly, they would also not write or listen to whatever you're going to say after 4 minutes, 15 seconds. So don't try to surpass that time limit.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, Prisha, what's your doubt?
Yeah, ma'am. Hi. So I wanted to understand that on 25th, we'll be having 3 rounds, correct?
Yes.
So you will be giving all the 3 profiles today only.
Ma'am, so there are going to be 3 statements, but the profile is going to remain same for all 3
Okay.
rounds.
Got it. So if it's Gandhiji, then there'll be just 3 different statements, but the profile remains the same.
Correct.
Does she even has to dress up according to the profile for 25th as well?
Yes. That is why we have kept the same profile, because it's difficult to change to the different profiles.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, she has to by heart the speech, of course, correct?
Yes. But if she wants to like probably have notes which she wants to refer to like only few times in the speech, it's okay.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. So 3 different sentences you will give, and each round she has to prepare for according to that statement.
Correct, yes.
And the time limit for each round will be 4 minutes, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Om, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, actually, like as Hydra's nair related to the topic will be given in WSDC also.
Yes. All topics are going to be related to education and sources of education.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Priya.
Miss, I didn't understand about using of props.
Oh, so this is not for you. So it's for dramatic adaptation. You're not supposed to use props.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to understand one more thing. That you said 3 sentences you will be giving. So, the dramatic adaptation is not like elocution, right? Like in elocution competition, suppose if you you talk about a topic, okay, and then you stop. But here, if there are 3 different, so she has to say it in a form of an argument, or how she has to say it?
No, so as I gave you the example, okay, I can give you an example. For example, the profile given is Greta Thunberg, and the statement given is education in environment preservation, the importance of education in environment preservation. So as Greta Thunberg, what do you believe about this statement? So if you want to take a stance, so does Greta Thunberg believe that education is important, or does she think it's not important? So based on that, you can take a stance, and then according to what she thinks and her opinions on that, so you could probably research about what she thinks about it, what she has written in terms of, let's say, on Twitter, on different essays, blogs, etc., in her speeches, and then based on that, you have to make a speech as Greta Thunberg. So let's say
you start only like as Greta Thunberg, right? You don't say I'm Prashad Desai. You say I am Greta, and then you start it like that, and you end it also accordingly.
So what would be Greta's opinions on this particular statement?
Okay, so you just keep talking as Greta.
Yeah, so you're adapting to that personality.
Okay, so nowhere in the entire 4 minutes you talk that I'm Prisha and I think that.
So before 4 minutes, no, you're not supposed to use your own opinion. But before the speech starts, you're supposed to give the judge as to I'm Prisha and the profile given to me is Greta Thunberg.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only time you're supposed to.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am. Sorry, as in when you're actually speaking and doubts are coming up. That's the reason, ma'am.
No issues. No issues.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being so patient.
No problem.
Thank you.
Vanshika, what's your doubt?
So, ma'am, in the 4-minute speech, that ma'am, we will be marked if we speech for 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
No, that's perfect. If you're speaking for 3 minutes 55 seconds, that's all right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's move to WSDC introduction. So as of now, are there any doubts for dramatic adaptation particularly? If there are no doubts, we're going to move to turncoat introduction or WSDC introduction actually. Okay, let's start with the WSDC introduction. But before that, let's quickly take a quick quiz on dramatic adaptation. People in the chat box, Havra, what's your question?
Ma'am, after this quiz, can the dramatic adaptation qualifiers leave?
Yes, you can. Okay, let's start. What is the time limit for dramatic adaptation in the chat box?
Ma'am?
Yes, Aryan.
Ma'am, so I wanted to ask a question. So the total speaker time for juniors would be allocated as to how much?
So for WSDC, it's 4 minutes per speaker. So you have 3 speakers in your, okay. Okay. All right. So if you are in middle category, your time limit is 4 minutes. That is correct. What is the grace period that is given to you after 4 minutes? Let's see how many of you all get it. That is correct. The answer is 15 seconds. How many rounds are going to be given to you in order to speak? That is, for those who are saying 4, that's wrong. It's 3. So you're going to be debating for speaking for 3 rounds. How many profiles are going to be given to you in the 3 rounds? That is correct. The answer is 1. Okay, so now I don't want any questions specific to these questions that I've given to you, because I think it should be clear. But lastly, how many times can I actually attend the round? Can I skip one round out of the 3 rounds, or do I have to do all the rounds? That is correct. You're not supposed to skip any rounds. You're supposed to do all 3 rounds. Okay. What is the theme of the tournament? That is correct, Hydra snare. And last question, what does Hydra snare signify as a creature? Which creature is Hydra snare? It's a snake. Yes, it's a serpent. All right. I think most of you all actually understand this entire format. I'm really happy. Dramatic adaptation kids can now leave. You're going to get your topic at 9 o'clock. So please watch this space. And if you have any doubts, you're supposed to put in the chat box on WhatsApp. So keep your eyes on the WhatsApp group, okay? Dramatic adaptation people can leave. Now we're going to have quick introduction session for WSDC, and then we'll have introduction for Turncode. Okay, WSDC is known as, you're welcome. Okay, WSDC is known as World School Debating Championship, which is the biggest and most prominent format for tournaments for school kids. Okay, and this is why it's
Excuse me, Miss?
Yes.
Miss, I'm getting an option for join a breakout room, so do we have to join it?
Just ignore.
Okay.
Ma'am, sorry to bother once again. Ma'am, just wanted to understand. So tomorrow and day after, there's nothing now?
Yeah, for dramatic adaptation, tomorrow is nothing. For day after, there is I'm going to just show you an example of how dramatic adaptation works.
So that will all come in the group. So tomorrow we don't have to log in. We have to directly log in day after tomorrow.
Day after, yes.
And she has to start preparing now for the topics that you have given.
Yes. As in when she gets.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Amira, what's your doubt?
I'm in Turncode, so are you going to be doing the introduction in this meeting?
Just after WSDC.
All right.
Okay, let's start with WSDC. It's going to be very short because it's just introduction. I'm not going to go into deep details of WSDC. It's just to cater to your enthusiasm and curiosity. So you will have 3 members in each team, which means that if you have registered as a team, well and good. If you haven't registered as a team, we will allocate the teams with you. So what you're supposed to do as and when you get your team is basically send on the group as to, hey, my name is Prayag, my teammates are XYZ, would you like to text me, okay? So let's say Prayag's teammate is Rishi. So Rishi would basically text Prayag on WhatsApp, okay? So you're supposed to connect together so that you can chat, you can have a good bonding and see that, listen, we are teammates and we're supposed to do well as team. Purva, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, does grade 5 come under juniors or?
You come under juniors.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Then the second thing that you need to know in terms of, Ryan, what's your doubt?
Miss, even if we haven't registered, can we like make our own teams?
No.
If the other people haven't registered.
Oh, the other people haven't registered? No, then they have to register. And I think registration is closed.
Okay.
Okay. So one team goes against the other team. So 3 people go against other 3 people because you're a team of 3, right? So one team is going to be for the motion or topic. Other team is going to be against the motion or against the topic. The time limit for you guys is going to be for 4 minutes. I'm sorry, it says juniors. It's supposed to say middle, okay? The motion release is going to be tomorrow. So keep an eye on the WhatsApp group tomorrow. After the meet, you're going to get your motions. The round 1 and round 2 topic will be same, which means that, but the sites are going to be switched. So because the topic is same for both the rounds, you're supposed to prepare for and against of that topic. In round 1, for example, if you're proposition, in round 2, you will be opposition. In round 1, if you're opposition, you'll be proposition in the round 2. Round 3 topic will be different and the slides will be given 1 hour before the round. So if I were you, I would basically prepare for round 3 topic for both sides. And as and when the motion is given to me and as and when the side is given to me, in that 1 hour, I will just prepare and just revise my speech rather than actually preparing my speech on the spot.
Excuse me, ma'am. This show
yeah.
is round 3 on the spot. Ma'am, how many rounds do you have to win to qualify for semi-finals?
Preferably all 3, but there are people who can like also qualify if you have 2 wins, but yes, preferably all 3.
Miss, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Miss, one question is, Miss, now I forgot.
You forgot the question? All right, no problem. Whenever you get the question, just let me know, okay? Sarah, what's your doubt?
Yes, Miss. So this format which you showed, that round 1, round 2, and round 3 topics will be different and same. So, Miss, I wanted to ask that, is this for the you can say qualifiers, or is this for the final also?
No, so the topics for qualifiers and finals are going to be different, and the topics for semi-final and final is going to be different.
No, Miss, I'm talking about the format, like in semi-final and final. Also, round 1 and round 2 topic will be the same.
In semi-finals, there's going to be only 1 round, so the topic is going to be only 1, and in finals, there's going to be 1 round, so topic is going to be different.
Also, ma'am, when will we get the results for 25th qualifiers?
As soon as possible, but we'll at least take 24 hours to check all the scores and everything, because there are more than 100 people. Like, I mean, there are more than 500 people actually. So,
right.
Okay. All right. So I hope the introduction for WSDC is clear. Are there any doubts for just introduction?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Rishita.
Ma'am, over here the limit for juniors is written as 4 minutes per speaker.
Yes. It's that's why I said it's a typo. It's not supposed to say junior, it's supposed to say middle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Karthik.
Ma'am, so my question was, ma'am, so will we have to speak for and against the topic, right?
So in 1 round, you get only 1 side. So if in 1 round you're for, you're supposed to speak for. If in one
Yes,
other round,
ma'am, but then we will have to speak for and against, like, or do we only have to get one based on random?
Yeah, so for round 1 and 2, you would get for and against, which means that for first motion, you'll have to prepare both sides. For third round, it will be random, so you can get for or against, but prepare for both.
So, ma'am, either way, we have to, the motions for round 1, 2, and 3 will be same, or will they be changed?
1 and 2 same, third round different.
So, ma'am, then third round we'll have to prepare for and against.
Correct.
Okay, ma'am.
Mehran,
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, it is said that we'll be participating in groups of 3.
Yes.
Who will make these groups exactly?
We will make these groups. It's in progress right now. We're just double checking if everybody is allocated. Otherwise, it's just going to be a big problem. So we will send it as soon as possible, preferably by tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Mehraj.
Will the topic of round 3 be announced with round 1 and 2, or?
Yes, all 3 will be given to you.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Gia.
When we're being like graded for the final, is it going to be based on the entire team or a single person?
Okay, so for WSDC, you either qualify together as a team or you don't qualify at all. So there's no individual qualification. So you qualify as a team.
Okay. And another question, one person, if I haven't put in my preference, can I do it now or?
Because the teams are being made, I think it's just a little unfair, but you could probably text the Indian Debating League if it is extremely urgent.
No, okay, fine. Thank you.
All right. It's always fun to be paired up with a different person that you don't know, because A, you make friends, but B, you have so much fun debating with them. Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes, tell me, Puranjay.
Ma'am, so ma'am, per round, ma'am, will our opponents be the same or will they change?
As in, like, who will go first, second, and third?
No, ma'am, like say in round 1, we have an opponent. Will the opponent be same?
Oh, they'll change. They'll change.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
All the rounds will be held on the same day, right?
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask, if I want, like, if I am good at being the third speaker, can I
like how will it be decided who's the first speaker?
Yes. So if you're good at as third speaker, well, if I were you, I would basically first get on call with all of my teammates. I'll tell them that I'm a good third speaker. I have experience with that and I can do well. So I would just convince that let me go third and then tell them that I could help them in first and second speak. So you just are supposed to convince your teammates actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a query.
Go on.
Till when will we know our teams, like our team?
By tomorrow, max.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Please, can you explain how 3 people will be presenting the same topic, like the format?
That's a very good question because you will get to know as to what particular speaker is supposed to do in the speech tomorrow because your WSGC training is scheduled for tomorrow. But just to cater to your doubt, the first speaker gives introduction to, let's say, if as a team, if you have total of 4 arguments, the first speaker is going to give the introduction to the topic, the definitions, and then the 2 arguments, and then the second speaker will give the rest of the 2 arguments, and the third speaker is going to give 2 things: one, summary of all the arguments, and secondly, why you win the entire debate. So you would convince the judge as to why you're better than the other team.
Okay. And will we be having a questioning round after the actual debate is done?
You don't have a questioning round, but you have a POI, which is point of information, but I will tell you about it tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me,
Yes.
ma'am. Ma'am, it is when the other team is presenting and suppose we have an objection or we don't agree with the point, are we allowed to speak afterwards after our speech?
No, but you can give that point to your teammate, which is going to be speaking after them so that they can use it in their speech.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, I have a query.
Tell me.
Ma'am, if the round 3 topic will be different and if we don't know about related about those things or the information, so can we get the information from other sources?
So because you're getting the topic tomorrow itself, you will have ample amount of time to research about it, right? So you can research about it.
Ma'am, but you told that, right, round 3rd topic will be given 1 hour before.
No, the side will be given 1 hour before. So you will know the topic, but you wouldn't know if you're supporting it or you're opposing it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
So, ma'am, the roles which we assign in a team, are they supposed to stay the same during all the 3 rounds, or can we change?
No, it can change.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask for round 1 and 2. Miss, when are we going to know that? Are we for or against?
So round 1 and 2, because you know for a fact that you will be switching your side in either round. So if you're for, you will be against in second round, but you will get to know about it just 15 minutes prior. So 15 minutes prior, you'll know if you're for in the first round. So that is, I said, the moment when you get the motion, have both sides immediately.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
Ma'am, what are the points to judge for WSDC?
It's going to be 3 things: matter, manner, method again. So your content, the way how you're speaking, and the way how you're structuring your arguments.
Matter,
matter, manner, and method.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes,
Excuse me, ma'am. Would there be reply speeches?
No reply speeches.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Tanvi.
Ma'am, will our topic stay the same for all the rounds, like for second, third, or will it keep changing with each round?
No, first 2 rounds same, third round different. So total of 2 topics.
Okay, and the third round, when will we get the topic?
All together tomorrow.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's now move towards turncoat.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, when are we supposed to give the POIs?
So you're supposed to give the POIs only in the middle category, which is basically, or middle and senior category, which is going to be, so you have 4 minutes, right? So you cannot ask POI in the first and last minute. You can ask POI from first minute, 1 minute, 1 second to actually 2 minutes, 59 seconds. So 1 minute, 1 second to 2 minutes, 59 seconds.
Okay, ma'am. And what is the role of the second speaker?
Second speaker is supposed to rebut, which means that respond to the opponents, and supposed to give 2 extra rebuttals.
Okay.
Two extra arguments
Ma'am,
actually.
can WSTC leave now?
Yes, you can. Also, Purva, this is not your meeting link. I believe you're supposed to join another junior category Zoom link. Did you see?
That's the mail which I got.
Oh, okay.
To join
Are you on WhatsApp group?
Yes, ma'am.
So check if there is a Zoom link that you're supposed to join. Would you like to join that?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, excuse me, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, like the POIs, is it compulsory to give one or more POIs?
Yes. So all the questions specific in detail for WSDC is going to be told to you tomorrow, because these are very difficult things that is going to be that will need more time to explain. So just keep your heads tight, and I will deal with all of these questions.
Okay, ma'am, WSDC round is over.
The WSDC introduction round is over. You guys can leave. Now we'll have a quick introduction to turncoat.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, sorry, quick question.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Bye,
the middle category speaking time for WSDC is 4 minutes, right?
Per speaker, yes.
Okay, thank you. And is there any reply speeches?
No reply speeches.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that when the other team is speaking, they're giving their speech. So can our team discuss the points among ourselves?
Yes, you can. But like in a way that is not audible to the other team, because it will basically distract them. So
Hello, Miss.
yes.
Miss, I have an overall question, because for the teammates, the 1, 2, 3, the teammates you have to submit. For that, which number do you send it on? Like,
it's going to be on the WhatsApp group. So
the numbers on the WhatsApp group?
yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I was asking that, ma'am, will they, like, last time I was in 17 June qualifiers group. So I have watched that like we will be speaking for or against. There it was not mentioned that in 1 hour before. So how are we supposed to get that information?
Oh, it is going to be the site will be given 1 hour before, and that was for the previous WSDC as well. They got their sites 1 hour before, but they knew the topic. So they pre-hand prepared for both sides. And the moment so for example, I'll prepare both speeches. The moment I'm told that I'm for, I'll just take the for speech and start reading it. So it's just easy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to turncoat then. So turncoat is an
Excuse
individual.
me.
Yes.
I just wanted to know that my friend has forgotten to put my name in the form. So and I have done it. So will we still be in the same?
Yeah, you will be in the same.
You will? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. All right, let's start with turncoat. So turncoat is, what do you guys think turncoat could be? It's just the same word, turncoat, which means that you turn your sides, which basically means that if you are speaking for right now, you will turn to against, and you're supposed to prepare for both sides. So turncoat is an individual speech event where you're supposed to speak for the motion and against the motion in the same speech. The time limit is 4 minutes. So first you're supposed to give an introduction to the speech, then you're supposed to speak for the motion, and then you're supposed to speak against the motion, and then conclude your speech. So because the time limit is 4 minutes, what we suggest is that use 1 minute 30 seconds for the motion, 1 minute 30 seconds against the motion, 30 seconds for the introduction, and 30 seconds for conclusion. I hope that's clear. So you have 4 minutes. You're supposed to speak for the motion, against the motion, and then conclude. I see. Okay, I'll take TC questions. Yashmi, what's your question?
How are we supposed to introduce the topic?
Introduction to the topic basically means that you're supposed to just general like background of what the topic is. For example, if it is about poverty and education, I would give like a general introduction of what poverty and education means. So do people actually have access to education being poor? You could talk about government schools and private schools that exist. So you're just basically giving a brief background as to what the topic is trying to talk about, and then you will take a side for it. So then you'll say why then it is bad, or why then it is good, and then you will try to conclude it. And that's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, Adya, what's it out?
I would like to ask, once we are speaking for the government and then we give the conclusion and then we speak for the opposition and then give the conclusion. So will that be okay, or we have to give the conclusion at the end?
Not, yeah, only at the end of the speech. So what you're doing is you're giving an introduction, then you're speaking for the motion, then you're transitioning to the opposite side. And then after you're done with speaking opposite side, you're supposed to conclude. In the conclusion, you would probably have to maintain a neutral stance as to why it's not for, not against, but generally like a bit of both, right? So you can take different creative ways to actually conclude or summarize your speech. Okay, Advitya.
Good evening, ma'am. I just had a small doubt that, like dramatic adaptation, do we have rounds for turncoat as well? Or
Yes,
is there only one round?
You have 3 rounds.
Okay, so ma'am, we have to speak on 3 different motions.
Correct.
Okay, fine, ma'am.
Okay. Amira, what's it at?
Yeah, okay. So basically, I wanted to ask, how are we going to like switch between for and against? Like
That's a good question. So it's you're supposed to use your own creativity. So people have basically like used different ways to do that, and you're actually marked for that in turncoat. So in turncoat specifically, you're supposed to have good transition from for to against. So I could probably like, I don't know who possessed me that I was talking all of it, but I'm actually against the topic and I feel this is wrong. And then you'll start giving like reasons as to why it's bad. Or you could probably say that what I do in my turncoat speeches is that I would, the topic that I actually ended it with, for example, if I'm saying that poverty can be ended at one point, I would probably speak exactly again, like against the same point, and then say that no, poverty can never be eradicated. It's just like it's a vicious cycle and stuff. So I would basically, the point that I'm ending it with, I would basically flip the entire point and then start with against. So that's what I can do. Like, I mean, people can do different things in order to transition, but don't be like, hey, my for is against, now I'm going to talk against. So it's just very pale, right? So you would want to make it creative. Yeah.
Yeah, so it has to be creative. So you can't just be like, on the other hand, this.
Yeah, correct. Okay, Navika and Kashish.
Good evening, ma'am. And I wanted to ask that all of us will get different topics or the same topics?
Same topic.
So, ma'am, how will you judge you?
How will the judge judge you?
Yes.
Yeah, they'll judge you based on 3 metrics that is being given to you, right? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yashvi Trivedi, what's it out?
I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. Pearl, what's it out?
So, ma'am, you answered this question previously, but we don't have to announce, right, that we are speaking for and against. We have to just switch it smoothly.
Yeah. So, but like you would have to make it at least evident that you're speaking for or against. Otherwise, it'll be really confusing. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Arsh Dikshit, what's it out?
Ma'am, what possibly can we speak in conclusion to make it 30 seconds?
Oh, so you could basically give a summary of the point that you actually mentioned, or you could basically give a neutral stance. For example, if I were to say that climate change should be the urgent, immediate issue for a developing nation, and I'm speaking for and against for it, I would basically say that governments, in the 30 seconds, I would say that governments should probably like prioritize the immediate needs of the people. It could basically be specific to a particular country. So it could be poverty, it could be education, and not necessarily climate change. However, we think that climate change is an urgent issue for all of the people because it could lead to deaths and harsh scenarios or consequences, which is why it should be a thing. So I mean, just a neutral stance as to why it can be or could not be a good or bad thing. So it's just a neutral stance.
So can we take any side while taking the conclusion? So like, for example, like I'm for means I like the what do we say? The proposition points more. So
okay,
can we
if you
speak
like
on
that,
those?
I mean, just try to keep it like lower it down and water it down. It shouldn't be like you're strongly for one side because it's turncoat. So it will look like you're like biased towards one side. It shouldn't look like that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, Nirja.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have 2 doubts. The first one is that when will we get the topics of the turncoat?
Turncoat tomorrow.
Okay. And the second question is that we have to say our name, what else in the introduction?
Introduction, name, your school if you want to, and grade, but then that's not really important. Just name is enough.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Navika and Kashi, do you guys have another question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can we see from the paper and can we prepare notes and can we say that?
The least you do it, the better for you. Don't continuously keep referring.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are you guys twins or siblings?
No, ma'am. Actually, we are hostlers, so
Oh,
we are. I'm a class.
Amira?
Yeah, okay. Another doubt. So when we're concluding, so we have to like summarize it all, but I'm again a little doubtful on how to summarize it because we spoke for and again.
Yes, so just forget everything. Like, just forget that you took a stance. Just say that even though I said this, I think this. So, like, just making a neutral stance.
Oh, okay. So like make it like all neutral. Just summarize in a non-partial way.
Yeah. Okay. Anubhava, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, so I have a doubt in the conclusion. So while concluding, can I put like my own opinion about the topic, or should I like keep a neutral stance about both?
Neutral stance is preferable, but I think if your own opinion is neutral, then you can put it.
Okay.
But dilute it in such a way that you shouldn't look like you're biased towards one opinion. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Advita, what's your doubt? Advitya. Okay, is there anyone else who has a doubt?
Sorry, ma'am, I forgot to lower my hand.
No problem, no problem. Akshaya?
Ma'am, you said that there will be 3 rounds. Can you give us more information about what the 3 rounds will be about?
Okay, so in the 3 rounds, you're going to be given different topics and you're supposed to prepare 3 speeches, okay? So when you prepare 3 speeches, you're going to be, so for example, your round 1 starts at 9, you'll give your speech, leave the meeting. After that, you'll have round 2 at, let's say, 10 o'clock. You'll give your second speech for the second round. Again, 11 o'clock, you'll have another round and then you'll give your speech. That's how it will work.
Okay, ma'am. So when the topic will be given, it will be given prior, 2 days prior or at
Yes, you are given the topic tomorrow itself. So you can start preparing from tomorrow. Okay, Nirja?
Yes, ma'am. So, do we need any dress code or any props? Can we use them for the turn code?
Turn code in WSG, there's no prop or dress code, but whatever you are comfortable in, you can use that.
And the second thing, that on 25th for turn code, will the qualifier round be on the first half or the second half?
The qualifiers for turn code is first half.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Arush, what's your doubt?
My doubt is how many people will be selected for semi-finale?
From turn code, from each category is going to be 3 to 4 based on how many people are actually there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Puranjay, what's your doubt?
It's about WSDC. Can I ask that?
Go on, yeah.
Okay. So in the video that was sent on the group regarding WSDC, so they in the video they were asking doubts in the middle of speech by saying stop, and then like the person can turn them down or they can answer.
Oh, that's called POI. So you can be like POI. If the person wants to take the POI or accept the question, they can take it. Otherwise, they can just reject it.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it. Yes, Nirja?
Can I leave?
Yeah, so turn code WSDC and dramatic adaptation. If you have no doubts, you can leave. I will take individual and specific doubts now. Thank you so much for joining. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.